Hey, how's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the stream. Today, we have quite interesting stuff, to be honest. Arsenal missing out on a target, which is always fun for Arsenal fans especially. We were gonna talk about Arteta's interview where we talked about transfers and all that stuff, some other links, some other things. And we're gonna discuss also some other teams doing business while Arsenal are sitting basically and doing nothing. So basically raising the question, where the hell is Edu? Because generally he feels like he's gone AWOL, done a disappearing act like Houdini, and he is doing nothing in the transfer market. We have been negotiating Calafiori for 2 weeks, and it looks like we haven't gotten any closer to signing him than we were 2 weeks ago, when already there were reports that personal terms have been agreed upon. So where's Calafiori? Where are the players? Where's the striker? Where everyone? Nobody knows. But we're gonna take a bit deeper dive into that in a second. Straight off the bat, of course, if you're new here, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Definitely helps a lot, helps the algorithm and everything. Don't forget to be live in the chat, don't forget to comment and do all that good stuff. And let's be real, there's interesting stuff to talk about, so we're gonna dig in a way straight into this, because we need to discuss certain aspects of how Arsenal are doing things. So we are kicking things off with this, with Victor Osimhen. Obviously, there are links again that Arsenal could be going back for Victor Gyökeres. Now, today, some reports, according to Sky Sports, on Victor Osimhen are saying that if they had to sell, Napoli preference on the future of Victor Osimhen would be sell him to Saudi Arabia, which makes a lot of sense, to be honest. They would get a lot of money. However, on the other hand, the player himself wants to stay in Europe and play Champions League football. If I'm not mistaken, if my memory doesn't deceive me, Napoli doesn't have Champions League football this season. So if he ever moves, it might be Napoli. Doesn't look like Chelsea are gonna get him, and of course there is Arsenal. So that will be very interesting. Of course, Chelsea won't get him because Chelsea don't have Champions League football. So there's definitely Arsenal and PSG most likely candidates. The thing is, the money would be the same. Still 100+ million, the release clauses, and nothing more, nothing less. They want the straight back amount. Of course, Napoli paid 70 million for him, so they definitely want their money back. They want some ROI on them, unlike Arsenal, who just bin players off for free or for massive losses. So it is what it is at the end of the day, but it looks like Victor Osimhen is still undecided because he wants Champions League football. Napoli cannot provide him with that, if I'm not mistaken. We actually can take a I genuinely misclicked. Serie A table. We can take a quick look at the Serie A table. Last season, Napoli finished 10th, so there's no chance in hell whatsoever that they are getting Champions League football. So he wants Champions League, so what does leave him? Arsenal and PSG. What Arsenal will do remains to be seen, because there are again rumors that after Calafiori signing, which still hasn't been done, mind you, 2 weeks talking to Calafiori and it still hasn't been resolved. Yeah, it's embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. But after Calafiori, Arsenal have some transfer plans for potentially to sign a striker, a midfielder, and all that stuff. Arteta spoke on it a bit in the interview, so we're gonna turn to that in a second. First things first, we're gonna talk about footballs, but looks like it's basically whatever they want. Napoli want him to Saudi Arabia because they can get the money, and Osimhen wants to play Champions League football, so in Europe. So it all remains to see what's gonna happen. Here it is, the biggest report. Arsenal are close to agreeing a deal for Calafiori. Now, with this thing, close to agreeing, we've been hearing this bombaclad PR bullshit, for 2 weeks now. Because Arsenal had agreed personal terms, Calafiori was on fire for Mikel Arteta for the plan. No other team is interested besides Arsenal, and we still haven't done the job. We still haven't put the pen to the paper. Arsenal are haggling over £2.50, and it's all up in the air at the moment. This close to agreeing thing we've been hearing for the last week. Arsenal are close, it's gonna happen soon, it's gonna happen by the end of this week, they promised it on Monday that it's gonna happen by Wednesday, and it hasn't materialized yet, and it's not gonna happen this week. There are hopes that it's gonna happen during next week. The big thing for me again with this Calafiori deal is Arsenal have dragged this for so long that there is a possibility of a hijack. Yes, Arsenal have gentleman's agreement with Calafiori and all that stuff, but only reason why Juventus pulled out of Calafiori deal was because they have no money. But Juventus are discussing with AS Roma to sign one of their young strikers Sule to them, around 35 million. That instantly would put them back in the race. And if they sell Chiesa or someone like that, although Chiesa said he wants to stay, they have instantly money to cover everything. Bologna want 50 million, and let's be real, if Juventus come in, I don't see a reason why Calafiori would not leave to Juventus, because he stays in Serie A, he stays with his girlfriend, and he is reunited with his ex-manager Thiago Motta, who also went from Bologna to Juventus. So there is lots of things to put into consideration when we are dragging this Ford deal for so long, because Arsenal's preseason training starts in 2 days, Monday the 15th. We are having the first game on July 23rd. So in 10 days we are having the first game of the preseason against Bournemouth in USA, which means in about July 20th, so in a week or so, we're gonna fly to USA. Basically, and Arteta said we want to do our job early, we wanted to sign a striker before Euros, we wanted to do our business by the end of July. Now we are mid-July with a month pretty much till Premier League, and we are still nowhere. We haven't signed anyone. We have sold, well, loaned out technically, Tavares to Lazio. That will be an obligation to buy. We have loaned out Lokonga to Sevilla with option to buy, but we haven't signed anyone. We have signed only youth players for under 20s, under 18s, and all that stuff. By the way, that Danish guy we signed from Nordjylland, and the goalkeeper Nygaard or something like that, he played for under 21s today. They won 4-2, so that was okay. That's everything. Also, Nwanieri played. Also, all Arsenal youngsters played in that. But again, PR still persists. Arsenal are close to agreeing the deal with Calafiori, and it's a never-ending story. Every single day we go round and round and round with the same stories, same PR words. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted the same thing about Calafiori about 50 times, just rephrasing certain things, and generally I'm sick of it, because Fabrizio generally at the moment is putting up the same information, just rephrasing it a bit for about 4 or 5 tweets, generally. Then he just puts some eyes, then he quote tweets it, puts eyes on that deal, then there's something else, and then there's something else, but deal is not moving forward, because if it was moving forward, Calafiori would be doing medicals at the moment, he would be at Arsenal, he would be with the team at the preseason, and everything would be done and dusted. But no, Arsenal are still sitting and doing nothing. Now, and the last one from my saves in general, then we're gonna move to Fabrizio Romano and other places, is that Arsenal want to sign 3 new goalkeepers this summer, if all goes to plan. So how many goalkeepers do we actually need? David Raya has signed, a new number 2 will come in with Ramsdale leaving, and Juan Garcia is the top target. Then a new number 3 will also come in this summer, which is, by the looks of this, Bentley. And with Karl Hein going out on loan, 18-year-old Tommy Setford is the number 1 target. So wait, so Setford is the third guy, 18-year-old. So he's gonna do nothing basically. Just give him to the youngsters and just let him play and develop there basically. So that's why we signed Nygaard. So everything, it looks like the number 3 option is gonna be either Setford or Bentley, one of the two. Nothing in between. So it is what it is. Now, if we move to Fabrizio Romano's Twitter account, where he puts the same content over and over and over again, here we are. By the way, Joshua Zirkzee signed for Manchester United 2 days ago for 40 million. Arsenal couldn't do the job with this. And by the way, if we talk about this, I think I have it still saved. Here it is. Ivan Toney, another Arsenal's target, which has completely gone dead silent, has said that he wants to join Manchester United, and his agent has already confirmed that to Brentford. Basically, United have Højlund, United have Zirkzee now, and it looks like they might sign another striker if they go in for him. That's if they go in for him, Ivan Toney. In my opinion, that's the perfect striker partnership United could have. With Ineos coming in, Ten Hag having an extra year and all that stuff, they have sorted out the backroom staff and staff in general, what Arsenal should have done about 5-10 years ago in general with the Garlics and Edus and all that crap. They brought in Answorth and everyone. Arsenal should have done that. Let's be real. Arsenal should have get the job done in that situation. And now you can see how United have a plan. United have everything doing by the book. They have everything by shelves. They know step-by-step actions they need to take. Arsenal doesn't look like it's gonna happen, but it looks like Arsenal might be losing another one of their targets in Ivan Toney. And here it is another one. The target Arsenal lost on again. Aston Villa have signed Amadou Onana. I know it says here that Arsenal have sent Aston Villa have sent 50 million, but it's been confirmed as here it is about an hour ago. Fabrizio tweeted Amadou Onana to Aston Villa. Here we go. Deal done for 50 million fee and sell-on clause also included. Formal proposal accepted. 5-year deal for Onana at Villa, valid until June 2029. Medical being booked, then deal set to be signed next week. So Arsenal are missing out on another target once again. They wanted to get Onana, they didn't want to pay 50 million. Douglas Luiz left the Aston Villa and they instantly made an action to sign Amadou Onana, which also means Braithwaite is going to stay at Everton most likely. But at the end of the day, this means the fact that Arsenal have missed out on another target. It just shows that Arsenal didn't want Amadou Onana that much, and Arsenal again are very passive in the market. Aston Villa have signed about 4 players at the moment and sold about 2-3 as well. Aston Villa have done everything perfectly at the moment. They replaced the Douglas Luiz with Amadou Onana. The way Unai Emery wants to play, I think Onana could actually do pretty good. And it will be a good signing from them. And now that the fact is, every time Amadou Onana played for Everton against Arsenal, he bossed the midfield because of his strength, energy and his physicality. Now that he has gone to Aston Villa, a team that we didn't do nothing pretty much against last season, they have gotten Amadou Onana, who's gonna run all over our midfield once again, all over the place every single game when we play Aston Villa. Emery just did great. Aston Villa actually have done a great deal of business here. Anything else about everyone? Oh, here we go. And Nico Williams, Arsenal's ex-target. Barcelona considered Amadou Onana among targets, but they won't send any bid. He close to Aston Villa. He's going. That's going to Aston Villa. The reason is clear. Barca are completely focused on Nico Williams as a top target. Basically, also yesterday we talked about the fact that La Liga president pretty much confirmed that Barcelona have pretty much gone to 1-1 standard in the paying off billions and everything, and they are close to signing and putting in bid and paying his release clauses, which means that very soon Arsenal will lose another potential target allegedly they were interested in Nico Williams, and that's gonna be that. And here we go, Arsenal transfer plans, what Arteta said. Now, I'm gonna take a second, I need to check something here on my phone, but I'll be right back. Anyhow, we back. I needed to sort some stuff out, what's going on. Anyways, Arsenal and Arteta interview. Here it is. Here we go. Let's talk about it. Genuinely, let's talk about what Arteta has said in the interview about potential transfer plans, potential transfer targets, and all that stuff. Basically what Arteta said on transfer plans. It's a very different summer. Everything is a bit slower. To be honest, no, it ain't. It isn't that slow. It's only slow for Arsenal. Let's get it straight. Because every team around Arsenal are signing players left, right and center. Villa, Chelsea, even Nottingham Forest, and everyone is signing players left, right and center. They're selling players left, right and center. Man City have signed as well a player there, but they have sold quite a few players and they're looking to sign a few more. And Spurs are in the market doing things. Arsenal is the only team that has done nothing. Legitimately, Arsenal is the only team that has done nothing. And if he says everything is a bit slower, no, it's not. It's slow for Arsenal because you are not doing anything at the moment. It's just PR. Just generally, Arteta is so PR trained that he can weasel his way out of responsibility for him and Edu. Because everything's a bit slower, it's just because of Arsenal. It's only for Arsenal. It's for nobody else. The market and the new rules in place have made clubs more aware. It's a bit more delicate to do business. How is it delicate? We are in a new quarter. Everything has been reset. Arsenal can easily do business now. Every single team is doing business. Aston Villa had PSR issues. Everton had PSR issues. Chelsea had PSR issues. Quite a bit of clubs had the PSR issues and they squared it before July, 1st of July, and now they're doing business in July properly. While Arsenal again are sitting there, scratching their head, twiddling their thumbs, and Edu still cooking his meat, on barbecue and riding jet skis all over the place, going to Taylor Swift concerts, meta galas and all that crap. While we are trying to sign a Calafiori for 2 weeks, trying to haggle over £2.50. Like, it's not that delicate to do business. It's just Arsenal, it feels like, again, just like almost every summer, they don't know how to do business. They barely can sell the deadwood they have, but it's, wow, we re-signed to protect their value. We are signing young players everyone wants. But when we try to sell, nobody gives a crap about them. Nobody tries to sign them, nobody puts a bids in them, and we have to force them out on loan with an option or obligation to buy just in case. Just in case something happens or we get lucky. Genuinely, our transfer business policy and the way we do business, it's not like a big club. To be honest, League 2 teams are doing better business than we are at the moment. They know how to do these businesses better than we do. And we have to adapt to that. We still want to deliver and improve. If you want, go out and do it then. Go out and do it then. Where's the accountability? Genuinely, where is the accountability for about 300 of those 650 million you have spent over 5 years that you have wasted in useless players? Where's the accountability for that? Why haven't you sold anyone properly yet? You knew since Raya came in that Ramsdale is not gonna play. Why he is still at the club? Why you didn't sell him last summer, for example, where there were about 3-4 teams that could have taken him? Now there's nobody that takes him because nobody needs him anymore. Why you didn't do that? Ramsdale at that time was at the peak of his price. Arsenal during this season showed that they don't give a crap about Ramsdale, they were not gonna play him, thus destroying his value by, I would arguably say, by about 40 to 45%. Because if we could have gotten about 50 million for him last summer, we are lucky if we get 30 to 35 million this summer. Arsenal have completely ruined Ramsdale for a business point of view for Arsenal specifically. Because Ramsdale is a number one keeper for, I would say, 85% of Premier League teams in many other teams. So Arsenal actually, they don't have to adapt. They need to destroy all the foundations they have on doing business. Basically, what I mean by that is go up in the board that is responsible for doing transfers, Garlics and Edu and all that stuff. Sack them all and getting proper people to manage finances, to manage deals, and to be sporting a director. Generally, get proper people in. not wannabes, not someone you have emotional attachment to. Because Edu, to be honest, at this time, while he's been the sporting director, has done nothing as signings go. Because only player you can give him actually credit for is Gabriel from Lille. Rest of them have been just, I don't know, YOLO signings. They winging it straight up, nothing more, nothing less. Partey wasn't a proper signing. It was last day of the transfer window. They paid the release clauses, and he had no choice to come because Arsenal didn't do the things properly. And that's about it. Edu hasn't done anything in any transfer window to convince me as an Arsenal fan that he is the right man for the job. He's the right man to sell players. He is the right man to sign players. He has done none of that. 95% of the time, when you see Edu's Instagram, when you see Edu somewhere, it's at some parties, galas, concerts, barbecues, relaxing vacations on jet skis, or something like that. Generally, you never see him actually doing business. Because if his Instagram was silent, you could make an argument that he's doing work and he has no time to post on social media. He actually is doing something, especially if you see it online, somewhere in some written pieces in journals, in publications, and everything. But no, you just see him chilling. Gets gifts from Arsenal for 5 years, then he just goes to Taylor Swift concert, goes to Met Gala, gets award for best sporting director. And so what was his competition? 6-year-olds from kindergarten, because they can do better business than he can. As 100% a 6-year-old could sell a Sambi Lokonga for 20 million. 100%. Genuinely, they could loan him even out with obligation to buy for 15 million. Edu barely is scraping bottom of the barrel. The standards in this club are so low in certain instances that we are barely doing the bare minimum to keep them afloat. But then there are those Arteta sexuals and super mutants and all that defend the club and everything. Oh, be patient. Oh, we didn't have options in the market. And let's be real, if we don't sign a striker at the moment in this summer, we're gonna go till January, maybe February, and we will see what is what. And then there will be interviews with Arteta and everyone. They say, oh, we had issues at the front. Maybe we were lacking goals at some instances. We couldn't score if we go on a scoring drought. We couldn't finish our chances. Why? Why is that? Because we had that this season already. We had that this season and it cost us the league. Let's be real. It was in December. It was against Aston Villa in the second part of the season when we went 16 games unbeaten and then we lost one game, and that was that Villa game in Premier League. It was only that one. Because last season excuse for signing Havertz, for midfield mind you, not for being a striker and actually getting things done, and not signing a striker doing things where, oh, we're spreading goals around. Left wing, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, everyone is scoring. This season we saw how that went. Saka had somewhat good GA. Odegaard towards the end part of the season pumped up his GA. Havertz hit a purple patch, goal scoring form, not actually good form, but just goal scoring form for a certain amount of time when he actually carried up his GA. At the same time, Martinelli on the left wing stunk out the place fully. Trossard came in towards the end part of the season and actually looked much better than Martinelli has ever looked last season. He was the answer. He was the one that was the most clinical finisher, the one that could carry the team, and that actually carried the team over the lines with his goals and clutch performances he actually did. Yet at the same time, he never got recognition for that. It's just embarrassing at this point, because we are trying to negotiate Calafiori for 2 weeks now. Still nothing is done. When it's gonna be done? Because we get promised every single day that's gonna be done tomorrow or day after tomorrow, by the end of the week, by the end of the month, and now we're in mid-July. We are 2 days away from pre-season training beginning. We are about a week away from flying to US. We are a month away from Premier League starting, and we have nothing, generally nothing new to show for the team. And it generally gives me the vibes of the season when we only signed per check. Remember that summer window when we only signed per check throughout the whole window? And you can generally just insert Arsene Wenger meme here at the moment when Welbeck came back to injury for during Timber and say, oh, it's like a new signing. And that's about it. Because that's what it's going to at the moment. Per check summer transfer window, plus Timber being like a new signing. And that's about it. It's genuinely pathetic, embarrassing, shambolic, and this hurts me. Genuinely hurts me. Because I'm not gonna stand anymore for this incompetence from our people. From Edu, who's getting about 2-3 million a year if I'm not mistaken, and what does he do even? Arteta potentially soon is signing a new contract. For what? What are you rewarding him for? For a new haircut? Straight teeth? Whitened teeth? Or speaking good PR? That's the only things you can reward him for. Finishing second 2 times when you should have won the league at least once of those 2 times. For beating FA and Carabao Cup every single year in the 3rd or 4th round? Generally, what are you rewarding him for? He has won one cup / title out of 18 available throughout his tenure at Arsenal. So what is he getting rewarded for here? For what? Genuinely, for what? Arsene Wenger, with 100 times worse team that Arsenal have right now, managed to win FA Cups at least almost every other single season. We sacked Wenger, and then we just dropped out to the bottom pits of the earth. Arteta brought us back up where we were under Arsene Wenger, and here we are. The only thing is, Arteta has spent 600 plus million and has F all generally to show for it. Under Arsene Wenger, we had players on the bench that were useless, shocking, abysmal, needed to rip up his contracts, needed to sack them, needed to sell them. At the moment, if you look at Arsenal's bench, again, players, subpar, not good enough, need to rip up the contracts, need to sell them. So in that instance, nothing has changed. Under Arsene Wenger, Arsenal got consistent top 4. Under Mikel Arteta last 2 seasons, we got 2nd. Okay, cool, we are back in top 4 basically. Because nobody cares pretty much if you finish 2nd, 3rd or 4th unless you win it. Because this sport isn't about, oh, who became the closest to Manchester City. This sport is about winning trophies. And we have nothing to show for it. And at the moment in the transfer window, we are moving like we will have never anything to show for it. And to be honest, I'm already Arteta out. I'm giving him this 1 season only because I know there's no chance in sacking him. But if you reward him with a new contract right now without actually proving that he can win something, this club is done and dusted. Genuinely. Because how can you reward something? How can you reward someone for something he's not doing? Because his job is to manage and coach the team and to win something, and he is winning nothing. Generally, that's like me at work getting a promotion at the time when I have been sick throughout half a year because, for example, I have a bad back. I come back to work, I type in one, I don't know, I write one certificate or some documentation, hand it in to the manager, and he says, oh, good job, here's a promotion, extra 5 years, 20% increase in salary, keep up the good work. It just doesn't make sense. Because for me with Arsenal is, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. That's our signature move in transfer market. For us, the biggest sense is to sign a striker and a midfielder. Hence, Arsenal are not doing it. Mikel Arteta, if we sign these goalkeepers, in his tenure in 5 years we'll have signed 10 goalkeepers. Make it make sense. Is he really that paranoid and embarrassed that he sold arguably the best goalkeeper we have in Emi Martinez and at the moment is trying to make up for it? Well, we are signing so many goalkeepers. Just get one and stick with him, give him some confidence. Not sign another insane goalkeeper who's gonna be a backup, who's gonna make Raya then nervous and they're gonna shit bricks instantly. We don't need that anymore. Just do the job, do the proper job. Sign Calafiori if you want him, move on to the next one. Why can't we do 2 things at the same time as well? It's beyond me. We cannot sign anyone and sell anyone at the same time. It kind of looks like we can at this stage, but we cannot do 2 deals at once. We cannot sign 2 players at once, like United, for example. They sign Zirkzee, they are instantly going for De Ligt at the same time. It looks like the Ivan Toney wants to go there as well. It looks like there were some rumors that I read that United might, some United fans expressed their United fans said, with the fact that Arsenal have dragged Calafiori deal out for so long, I wouldn't mind going in for Calafiori. Just imagine, I can generally see this happening. Arsenal can drag this out for so long that a different team will come in and steal Calafiori from us. I generally believe there's a scenario in this world where this actually can happen if we're gonna keep moving like snails and subpar mediocre club like we are trying to. We are not mediocre club, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world and in England, yet we move like we're one of the small guys in a very big pond. Genuinely. We are not moving like the big fish. We're moving like the little small. We're moving like plankton in an ocean, basically. We are not moving like sharks or whales, although in pace-wise might be like whales. But we are moving like plankton in the ocean. It's just freaking embarrassing, and it's pissing me off on daily basis. I'm not gonna lie. Anything else? What else Fabrizio has talked about today? Antonio Conte confirms there's no chance Kvaratskhelia exit. Cool. Official 17-year-old forward Frankie Ruhlmann has signed a 3-year deal with Chelsea. Nico Williams, we already talked about that. We already talked about Nico Williams. Transfer news down here. Alejandro Gomez Rodriguez. Desiree Keeps. Blanc is moving to Al Ittihad. That was mad in general. Where is, by the way, the mystery German we should have signed? Where is that? Where is that deal happening? Another PR move just to get everyone hyped up and excited or something like that? What the hell is happening at this club? Oh, Calafiori, 4 hours ago. Arsenal. Ricardo Calafiori keeps waiting for Arsenal as his only priority. Clubs remain in talks. Dude, this is the same thing we have been hearing for the last 2 fucking weeks. I'm sorry for swearing, but it's really pissing me off till the end. To the bone, to be honest. Arsenal, Ricardo Calafiori keeps waiting, right? This keeps waiting. If I'm not mistaken, we heard also last season when we tried to sign Declan Rice when we were trying. Declan Rice keeps waiting on Arsenal to finalize the deal with West Ham. And this is the same happening right now. Arsenal Calafiori keeps waiting. Now, how long will he wait? Because if another bid, let's just say Juventus come in with a better bid, or the same bid even, as Arsenal, what's gonna happen then? What if another team comes in? Let's say United, for example, comes in. Or Chelsea, for example, comes in for him. What's gonna happen then? Will he still be waiting? Because there is no shadow of a doubt in my mind that other clubs would finish this deal already. Genuinely. Because how it was with Zirkzee. Zirkzee was linked with United. I think 5 days later there was a bid, terms agreed. And a week and a half later, in a week and a half, he was done and dusted and he's United player. That's it. Generally. In and out in few minutes. That's it. No hesitation, no nothing. Arsenal, meanwhile, sitting 2 weeks on a Calafiori deal. How can this be acceptable at our club? How? Antonio Conte and Osimhen's future. There's no change of situation. He's a top player. Blah blah blah. Sadio Mane agent. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Here, this is the thing I'm talking about. AS Roma have genuine interest in Matthias Sule. No formal proposal sent. That was yesterday. But Juventus insists on 35 to 4. Basically, it insists on 30 to 35 million pounds. If Roma pays that, Juventus actually have all the money to try and go in for Calafiori. And if that happens, it's pretty much a big guarantee that Calafiori is moving to Juventus and he will bin Arsenal and the gentleman's agreement they have with Arsenal in a heartbeat. I'm not gonna lie. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? We talked about Onana already. We talked about Saul as well. Anything else new here? Nothing. Generally nothing. Como, by the way. Cesc Fabregas, the club that Cesc Fabregas is coaching. They are doing incredible business, by the way, if you ask me. Como have completed both Pepe Reina and Alberto Moreno. Yes, they're not the youngest, but they're making big moves for such a small club. Documents are now ready with Poseidon. 1-year deal for both Reina and Moreno have been confirmed. Reina will be the backup goalkeeper as Como are set to sign Paul Lopez from Olympique Marseille. On top of this, there are reports that next week Como will put on paper their their salary offer and contract offer for Rafael Varane. Freaking Varane. Imagine, Como could potentially sign Rafael Varane. Champions League Varane. Real Madrid one incredible Varane. To be honest, quick question. Why Arsenal are not signing Varane? What is holding them up? What is holding Arsenal up to sign Varane? Because I would take him in a heartbeat as a backup for Bukayo Saka. I would say Bukayo Saka, the Saliba, sorry, William Saliba. I would take him in a heartbeat because with him we could actually properly rotate our defense, and he would be a defensive center back specialist, not makeshift defenders like we have in Tomiyasu, Timber, and all that stuff. We wouldn't be a player that would shift around because only two defenders we have that are specialists in their position are both of our center backs, Gabriel and Saliba, because they're the only two that don't play at right back, left back, CDM, number 6, goalkeeper, striker, or wherever, to be honest. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Nothing new. Odson and Eduard could leave Crystal Palace. I get that. This is why they are linked with Edin Nketiah. Let's just keep that in mind. Not Savage. Everton one, by the way, Jesper Lindström. That could be a good deal for Everton, in my opinion. Anyways, now let's go and check. Maybe there are some news in Arsenal's front in this instance. It will be a flashbang in a second. I'm very sorry for that. Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal, Chelsea, and transfer update as player decides destination. What player is this about? Let's check this. We're gonna do this live. Calafiori. Oh, here we go. Calafiori. Arsenal update on Calafiori. Arsenal target Ricardo Calafiori appears to be set on move to the Emirates Stadium. Calafiori keeps waiting. Club remains to talk, so our fee and structure. Pay the money for fuck's sake and just get the deal done. Elsewhere, Nuno Tavares has gone. Italy, Nuno Tavares will complete his move to Lazio this weekend. So Nuno Tavares can move to Lazio, do the medicals and sign the contract today or tomorrow. And you want to tell me that Arsenal cannot put in proper bid, putting proper contract structure for Calafiori for 2 weeks? Good job. Arsenal have approved all the documents for loan. Alberto Lokonga looks to be set lands in transfer windfall. Yes, Lokonga is already in Sevilla completing his medical, so that is going as well. It's an option to buy, not obligation to buy, compared to Nuno Tavares, who has an obligation to buy. That is about it. Anything else? Arsenal midfielder in Awi or Barcelona starlet. That's probably, that's Nico Williams. Declan Rice calls out France players for Lamine Yamal comments. Just yikes. Spain star reveals plan to stop Bukayo Saka as he Manchester United legend compares Arsenal target to Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, this would be good. Who is it? Who is that is compared to Nico Williams? Nobody cares. He's going to Barcelona, for fuck's sake. Alexis Sanchez was shown today in Arsenal shirt, so in the new Arsenal kit he was in the training. So imagine actually prime Alexis Sanchez in this Arsenal team. It would go two ways. Either Arsenal would cook with him in the squad, or Arteta would bin him because Alexis Sanchez had that swagger about him that he doesn't like to have any other player to have. That is, to be honest, the biggest reason why we haven't signed Ivan Toney, and we won't sign Ivan Toney, because Ivan Toney has a personality about him. He has some arrogance, some swagger, and Arteta doesn't like having players that have own swagger, arrogance. He just wants yes man. Aye aye captain. All that stuff. Anyways, next week Fabrizio Romano says Barcelona ready to push for... here it is, next week Fabrizio Romano says Barcelona ready to push for world-class player Arteta wants at Arsenal. That is Nico Williams. He is next week Barcelona are pushing for Nico Williams. So that is done and dusted. Managerial scores 3... Oh yeah, let's check this by the way. Arsenal under 21s won 4-2 today. They won 4-2. Non-league Bournemouth. 4-2 against a non-league team. Oh, it was their big team. I was thinking, do they have a youth team? Never mind. 4 players of Nigerian descent. Brian Okonkwo, that is Arthur Okonkwo's brother, who just joined Wrexham, who was at Arsenal, had a great spell at Sturm Graz, had a great spell at Wrexham, helped them to get promoted, and Arsenal binned him for free, didn't even sell him for 5 million. And I genuinely believe we could have gotten 5 to 10 million for Arthur Okonkwo 100%. English, homegrown, and all that stuff. Easily could have done that. No, Arsenal let him go for free. Forwards that were Ethan Wanyeri and Nathan Oyedeji, and fullbacks Josh Nichols were giving minutes off the bench. Yeah, they all came off the bench. Okonkwo and Nichols recently extended their stay with other. Yeah, genuinely, that is true. Arsenal are a joke at the moment in the transfer market. Generally, they could not. I don't know what they can't finish. They couldn't finish a wank, for example. They can't do even that. They're generally 2 weeks they're trying to sign Calafiori. 2 weeks pretty much. How long does it take to put proper bid in? Because they're generally trying to haggle over £2.50. Generally, £2.50. They're like you go to a market and you say special price for you, my friend, and all that stuff. They're trying to do everything they can to get their favorable things. Genuinely. Look how long it's taken to me. Exactly! That's what's the biggest thing that's pissing me off in this transfer window. We are 2 days away from a pre-season training to begin, week before we fly to US, and in 23rd in 10 days we play against Bournemouth in the first pre-season game, and in a month Premier League begins. And what have we done? Gotten sell-on clause for Hutchinson, sold Mika Biereth for embarrassing amount of 4 million euros, mind you, not pounds even. We have loaned out Lokonga with option to buy, and we have loaned out Tavares with obligation to buy. And that's about it. That's all what we have done. Genuinely. Aston Villa took 1 day to sign. Exactly. That's the thing. It was like nowhere. They sold Douglas Luiz, Onana. It was reported late 2 days ago in the evening or yesterday in the morning that there were some links. In the evening there were contacts. And today, done, dusted, hello, welcome to Aston Villa. And this generally market is typical Arsenal. That's generally what it is for me at the moment. And generally, as I said, this is giving me the vibes from the transfer market where we only signed per check. No outfield players, only goalkeeper. And when Wenger in the January transfer window said when Welbeck came back from injury, oh, it's like a new signing. Generally, that will be Timber for us. And that's about it. Generally, that will be about it. Arsenal won. Who scored for Arsenal? I saw the result, I saw the game, but who scored? Okonkwo, Nichols, Saine found the bottom corner. Okay, Edin scored and the net finished in the 4th minute to give Young Gunners a brilliant start. Arsenal extended their lead in the 9th minute. Omar Rekik actually scored. That's kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Rekik scored. Our under 21s won against non-league side. 4-2, by the way, today. Corner. Oh, Mhanda delivered a good corner. That's good. Apia scored for them, whose bullet header beat goal. Oh, Lucas Nygaard played. Our new goalkeeper signing. Ho ho! One of the 4 goalkeepers we're gonna sign this transfer window. Woohoo! Generally, Arteta, if we sign Juan Garcia and if we sign Bentley or Stedford from Ajax, Arteta will have signed 10 goalkeepers in the 4.5, nearly 5 years he's been here. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? Genuinely. Anyways, Gunners were 3-1 up at the halftime thanks to Aganedin scored. And 3 minutes into the second half, Nwaneri finished off a move. He started from a halfway line to make it 4-1. So Nwaneri had a good raid between the defenders. That's nice to see. If he actually gets proper minutes at Arsenal, I would be very happy. If Arteta actually gives him a chance to get proper minutes, I actually would be very, very happy with that. I'm not gonna lie. Because so far it's been quite embarrassing how he's integrating youth players into the main squad. None whatsoever, basically. 2 cameos for Manieri, becoming the youngest player to ever play in Premier League, and that's about it. Good job. Now, never seen anyone since, and rest of them have been binned off for free in the start of this transfer window. Anything else today we can talk about? Twice as good, Brighton's like the signing against huge press, yeah. League 2 club confirmed signing of released Arsenal players. So League 2 team, even League 2 teams are signing players. Here we go. We saw yesterday that Rule Walters joined Luton Town on free. Easily could have gotten about, I would genuinely say, 1.5 to 3 million for him, even the smallest amount. Just like we could have gotten about 5 to 10 million for Arthur Okonkwo, who we let go on free. Same goes for Skelly. You don't tell me we couldn't have gotten like 10, 15 million for Skelly? Or Kozer Dubry? It's Kozer Dubry or Skelly. Wait. I'm getting them mixed up. It was Kozer Dubry, right? Yeah, Kozer Dubry. Yeah. You want to tell me you couldn't get 10 to 15 million for that? That's just pathetic. Anyways, Arsenal released Tyler Foran, yes, and he has been confirmed by Bromley. Well, good luck for him. Generally, good luck for him. Anything else? When Rooney compares Mikel Arteta transfer targets to Cristiano Ronaldo, that's an embarrassing comparison, I'm not gonna lie. And he talks there about Nico Williams. Rooney compares, legend says 10 million stars move to West Ham would be a blow. Yeah. So basically nothing to report else on Arsenal, despite the fact that Arsenal are pissing us off. Arsenal get Edin Nketiah and Nelson transfer incentive amid 20 million Delap deal. Yeah, how can they sell Delap for 20 million but we sell Mika Biereth, who actually has played in Scotland, in Austria, won the Austrian Cup, has had proper first team football and scored proper goals and everything, who's gonna play in Champions League next year, by the way, in Sturm Graz, for 4 million. Make it make bloody sense. It's just pathetic how we're doing business. Latest Arsenal transfer news, with Mikel Arteta receiving a triple incentive to consider sanctioning exits for Reece Nelson, Emil Smith-Rowe and Edin Nketiah. What is football.london saying here? Arsenal have been given a clear incentive to sanction senior exits. Okay, they can sell them basically. As a selling club, the Gunners have struggled to get full value for departures. Have struggled? That would be very lightly put. Arsenal have struggled to get full value. We barely have gotten 20% for certain players. Exactly. Arsenal don't know how to negotiate. Genuinely. It's like this. Arsenal put in an offer, let's just say 35 million for Calafiori. Bologna come back and say, no, we want 42 plus 8 million add-ons. What they decides to do, we're gonna offer them 38 million plus 5 million in add-ons still, so it becomes 42. And we try to haggle over 2-3 million every single window for almost every single player, thus dragging out these deals for 65 years. Same thing happened last season with Declan Rice when we tried to sign him when everything was pretty much done and dusted, and then all of a sudden, bang, the extra additional clauses and everything was an issue. Yes, I get it, it's 115 million deal, it's a massive deal, it takes more time, but still, Arsenal even then haggled over 5 million. Like, get real, pay the 5 million and get lost. Because which team is gonna accept the fact that you put in a clause that you get extra, let's just say 2.5 million if Arsenal win the Champions League? Arsenal have never won the Champions League, and you want to put that in Declan Rice's signing clauses. The West Ham will get 2.5 million if Arsenal win Champions League. Based on last season, we are nowhere close in winning Champions League. Genuinely. And I don't think we're actually going to win it under Mikel Arteta. And I don't think we're going to win league under Mikel Arteta as well. Mikel Arteta for Arsenal is like Brendan Rodgers. Getting us up there, getting us close, but not there. And generally we need to find who is our club, who's going to replace Brendan Rodgers, in this instance Arteta, to get us over the line. Because all the foundations are there. We just need a proper manager with proper winning mentality that can properly install the winning mentality into our players. And that's about it. Rest of the stuff will take care of itself, 100%. Whoa. Anyways, anything else? The lab deal, yeah. Arsenal can ask a bit more money. Yeah, cool. Anyhow, anything else? Details on Arsenal's first bid. Let's check it. Arsenal are bidding for Setford. Let's see what it says. Details for our first bid against Setford have been revealed in local media in the Netherlands. What talks going on? So, reports the Telegraph that the Arsenal opening bid for Setford Ajax was 350k plus bonuses. Setford is out of contract at the end of the season, which makes sense why it's such a low offer. If Ajax hold on to him until then, they'll receive that same amount as a training compensation fee, but without bonuses. So basically what this means is Arsenal wanna... They would play 350k for him either way if they signed him after his contract ended. Only thing, they don't want bonuses. The only way they can do it, if they offer, let's just say 500k, they would get him now. Because according to reports, Arsenal are exploring the option of the third choice keeper being either this Tommy Setford or Bentley. One of the two. Now the question is who you can get for cheaper. That's why, because we put that for Arsenal, hella embarrassing bid for Bentley in 50k, most likely. Ajax have a decision to make, take the money now or potentially end up with more in the end. Because they could end up with more in the end, obviously. Anyways, it is what it is. What else is happening here? Arsenal get green light for Merino. That's kind of cool, I get that. Arsenal and Chelsea battle for 70 million striker after cut price deal in managers. I assume that is Victor Gyökeres, who yesterday was unveiled that Sporting Lisbon would be willing to accept 60 million pounds. Exactly, here it is. It was reported already yesterday that apparently Sporting Lisbon has lowered their asking price for Victor Gyökeres to 60 million pounds. And now I have the big question. Why the hell we haven't put in a bid yet? 60 million, come on, we didn't want to play 80, we were ready to offer about 70 plus add-ons, if I'm not mistaken, 65 plus add-ons. Now they want 60. They want less money, but we are doing less, even. How does that make sense? Generally, this is the genuine thing what, for me with Arsenal, that just drives me crazy. If it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. And that's the same thing. We don't see any proper striker links, we don't see any proper midfielder links. Pretty much 95% of transfer rumors at this time for Arsenal are goalkeepers or Calafiori at defense. And here or there in those 5% there are basically either Gyökeres, either Mikel Merino. And that's pretty much about it. Like, how can this be a thing? Because left back actually for me isn't the most desperate position we need to fix. We need to fix striker and a number 6 because we can't go into the season without a striker, a proper bagsman, and a proper number 6 who can replace Partey. Because if we go in another season as Partey as our main number 6 without a backup, and that is if we don't sell Partey, we're screwed. We're not gonna finish again second. We actually at this pace might finish even lower. We might finish third, or we might finish second. But the gap between us and Manchester City this time won't be 2 points, won't be 5 points. It might be more. It might be 10 or 11 even points. And that is what is here very, very pissing me off. Exactly. They always try to haggle over negotiations. It's like they go to a market and they try to haggle a special price for you, my friend. Something like in those situations. It says 15 pound. You pay freaking 15 pound, and that's about it. Exactly. We need a striker. We need a winger. We need 2 midfielders, in my opinion. A 6 and an 8. Arguably, you need a cover for another number 8, so technically you need 3, but let's just say we need 2. We need a backup goalkeeper, and we need, or more or less, if you want, you can get a left back. So we technically need 6 players in this window. And you know that Arsenal will do the bare minimum to fix these holes, and they're gonna sign 3, and then we're gonna YOLO the season. Generally, whatever happens, happens. Because last season we got very lucky. We avoided injuries to the maximum extent, except Partey and Simba. Rest of them were healthy almost all the season, with minor niggles here or there for Martinelli. That's about it. Do you think this luck of no injuries is gonna last? Hell no. Generally, it's not. It's gonna catch up to us eventually, especially if we overplay our players about 55 to 60 games a season without subs whatsoever. Anyways, next question. Who do you prefer, Gyökeres or Alvarez? Now, I assume this question is in terms meant about Alvarez, the striker from Manchester City. In this instance, I would say Gyökeres. I don't want at Arsenal any more bums from Manchester City. Because if they are not good for Manchester City, in which universe they will be good enough for Arsenal? We saw what happened with Zinchenko and Jesus. Jesus has been injured for most of the time. And when he plays, he has admitted scoring goals isn't his best trait. And he doesn't score that much. He hasn't scored more than 14 goals in his career in Premier League. And Arsenal, and if we talk about Zinchenko, we have as a team outgrown Zinchenko by a mile. He's just not good enough in general anymore, and he also needs to get sold, in my opinion. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But will he sell him? Of course not. It's Arsenal. Again, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. But hey ho, here we are at the end of the day. Anyways, guys, on this note, on this annoyance, if that makes sense, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you guys so much for chilling. Thank you so much for comments, likes, subs. If you haven't, don't forget to subscribe, share the stream, and all that good stuff. You have been amazing. See you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is also Euro Finals, Spain versus England. Let me know down in comments below what you think, who is gonna win and by how much. Take care, stay safe, have a great evening, and see you soon.